In fact, this was wonderful. This is the best moment of the match, and it came from Keith Wood, this magnificent player, booting the ball ahead, and they make a wonderful tackle on, I think it's Ben Tune back here, which resulted in the penalty that led to the try. But the message is clear that against the good boys, that it's not good enough just to be able to defend. It's not good enough just to be able to keep their score down. There comes a stage, or there will come a stage, where you've actually got to do something. And that's my big concern about South Africa. Clearly, apart from Brendan Fenter, and we saw his importance last week, and we saw the game on Saturday, there's nothing else. There's no creative play. There's no general in midfield. And I think that unless the weather is really shocking, and it gets down to place kicks, then we could find ourselves in some trouble. But it was a lovely moment at half-time while it lasted.
Indeed it was. Then there was some fisticuffs, and you could have entered one or two of these men in the world heavyweight contest.
This really annoys me, okay? Because what the rules as they are at the moment are that if there's a punch-up and the ref sees it and gives a yellow card, the guy cannot be cited. If the yellow card is not given, the guy can be cited. Now let's look at this rather nasty example of what happened. Look, now Brennan is a thug, the Irishman on the left, pointing his finger. He's a thug, a well-known thug, okay? Now look what happens here. This is when he's cut, okay? And you'll see the incident when they go back, all right? Look what happens here. Bash, bash, bash. Now he picked the wrong man because Kefu's done this before. Look. Now that really is nasty, okay? All right, it really is nasty, and that's not a part of the game, and it really does look very, very bad indeed. Now look what happens here. The referee pulls over the linesman, and they have a long discussion. Okay. Now Brennan is here. He's been hurt. He's bleeding. The Irish crowd is incensed at their man being punched. The linesman comes in and talks about it. Okay. They pull the two captains over, obviously, and say this is not good enough. We can't have anything here. All right. But now the referee now knows what has happened. Okay, the linesman, his second set of eyes, has told him, and he doesn't issue a yellow card at this stage, all right? Brennan's getting treated, and we all think, oh, this poor man, you know, assaulted by this Australian number 8. Okay, but look what happens here now after giving the warning. We've seen Brennan getting his lights punched out. Now, who does he give the penalty to? Watch. Penalty in front of the post to Ireland? Watch. Must be a penalty to Ireland. That poor man got punched, okay? Look, penalty to Australia. Now I had to look at it again and watch down the bottom left when they show the highlights. Forget everything else, just watch down the bottom left after the tackle here. Okay, I think we even put a circle on. Bottom left, look, he's holding Kefu there at the bottom. Look, and there's the punch, bang. Brennan punched him on the ground, right into his face. So you see a guy trying to play, this guy who's probably been causing him trouble the whole game, punches him in the face on the ground. Now what do? You stand up and defend yourself. Now, the point I'm making is Kefu has been suspended. He's been cited because the referee didn't give him the yellow card. Even though the linesman came and told him who caused the trouble, all right, they saw the punch-up, he didn't give him the yellow card. Now, because the referee didn't take that action, it's now gone to the citing committee, and Kefu is out for the next 2 games, one of which is the quarter-final. And it just seems crazy to me that because the referee didn't do his job properly, Kefu has now been suspended, and that is subject to an appeal.
Sounds to me like what you're saying is we need to have more television replays, because then you would have picked that up.
I'm sick of saying this. It's so ridiculous. And we chatted to Freek Berger when we were watching the rugby, and for certain decisions, it is just brain dead not to use. And the crazy thing, of course, is they use the television in terms of citing, but they don't use it in terms of other decisions. But I think if you looked at that overall, plus the knowledge of his past record, that Brennan is a thug, he's a man who's got to be watched. Because Kefu defended himself and decided, I'm going to teach you a lesson, he ends up getting banned. I really think it's crazy, you know. But having said that, it was an ugly incident.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing that one wants your youngsters to see, for instance.
Yeah, but compared to the game the way it used to be, you know. Oh. You look at the crowd during a punch-up, everyone's laughing, you know.
I don't think Brennan saw much of the fun of that one, nor did Kefu. USA up against Romania was the other Pool E game down at Lansdowne Road in Dublin in Ireland. Gordon Bray describes the action this time.
Solomia out here on the left, supported by Petraki. Solomia! Through some flimsy US defence there. There were 2 men marking him. Dan Lyle, nicely that time. That's quick hands to New. Dalzell to New. This is the left winger in. Hightower. Big clean out. This is Suka. 5 metres to go. Very close for the prop. It's number 6, Dan Lyle. So the number 8 here, Lomcom. Slipping away for Hightower. He has another go. Well, he really hit the line with the afterburners. Full bore. Ball just a little slippery. And now the Romanians. This is Gontinak. Look at the overlap. They have to score. Solomia crosses for his second. Wait till it down. Wait till it down. Constantine says, come with me. They're over the goal line. Big drive there from Mavrodin. 14 Romania. They took a long time there. That's Constantine. They're over. It was the big number 4, Brenza. There's space on the blind side. There's a little overlap. New. There's the try. Schumann. Superb work there by the Eagles fly half.
So Romania 27-25 victory, and a famous one at that over the USA. And the other match we showed you highlights, 23-3, the Ireland team went down to Australia. And that log, Australia predictably at the top.
Yeah, pretty much as expected. Ireland with a game against an improving Romanian side, and Australia, USA, sadly, because they're playing in Limerick, Thomond Park, the real centre of rugby in Ireland, and they're getting a game which to some extent is meaningless. But, you know, the group gone pretty much as expected, but Ireland disappointing against Australia.
Right, on Thursday, these are the games we'll be showing you, and I'm going to ask the John Robbie must-watch pick for this weekend,
Wales
and maybe
versus,
each day, actually.
Wales
John.
versus Samoa, a big one there. Memories of '91, and the Samoans with a shock defeat against the Argentinians. They'll be coming out on all cylinders. Canada versus Namibia. Let's hope the Namibians can do something.
That could be a very interesting one. On Friday, no less than 3 matches coming your way, 2 of them on CSN, and South Africa up against Uruguay. That one is at 5 on Mnet. England up against Tonga at the top there. We've spoken about that one briefly. Any chance of an upset at all?
Well, of course there's a chance of an upset, but the Tongans, if they play as they did in that first game against the All Blacks, will be a very hard and physical side. The English backs won't like it. They would like to have been sort of safe at this stage. I think that'll be a very entertaining game because I think the Tongans have won everybody over. South Africa versus Uruguay, one would assume we're going to win with our strongest team there. Let's hope for a better performance. Ireland against Romania, okay. I think the pick there, England against Tonga.
That 5 o'clock is not the kickoff. The kickoff is just before 6 o'clock. That is the build-up, South Africa up against Uruguay.
Good game. France against Fiji, a good game. The Fijians, a very unpredictable side.
Supersport International. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed the program. John, if you had to pick one moment of the weekend that we saw, one defining moment of the World Cup 1999, give me
hard.
it.
I mean, Jonah Loma's try. It was just so wonderful to see what one individual can do in the game of rugby. I mean, rugby is a team game, but the beauty is that individuals still can provide those moments of magic. And I think that for all the defence that we talked about, for all the homework that is being done, for all the science in the game, there are just individuals who you can't stop. And it was frightening, it was majestic, and it was wonderful. And as we said before, somebody has come through personal problems and health problems. To see him do that, I just wish he'd get his hair cut, but that's just a personal decision, you know, it's a personal point of view. It was wonderful.
As we look at our email address, let's take a look at it, and we'd like to get your emails, boots@supersport.co.za. That's boots@supersport.co.za. And John, thanks very much. We look forward to your company again next Tuesday. Thanks very much for your time.
Look forward to it.
Indeed. And